week at the moment, but all right, we're up and running. But I'm recording it as well, so we'll upload it at a higher res. Mr. Parage.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Gaston Parage. I'm the president of the International Powerlifting Federation. I'm living in Luxembourg, in a small country in Europe between Belgium, France, and Germany. And I'm involved in the executive committee since '99. I have been the treasurer until 2012, and from 2012 until now, I'm the president of the International Powerlifting Federation.
Right.
In June, we will have the elections, and I hope that I will be re-elected. I'm the only candidate, but I hope that I can still continue my good work.
I think because the amount of work that you have to do, I don't think anyone wants the job because it's incredibly intense.
Yeah, that depends every time how you live for the sport, and I'm
Yes.
living for the sport. I do it with my heart. I like to do it, and also because I'm motivated that I see that I bring something forward. So
Yes.
I work nearly 16 hours a day for the sport. Even if I'm watching the TV, I look always on my mails on my phone, and I immediately reply to my mails, and that is what the people know. And sometimes it's good, sometimes not, because then everybody say, okay, I call Gaston, or I send a message to Gaston because he reply immediately.
So you're getting all the messages.
Yes,
Yeah.
I get a lot of messages a day, and but it is always a pleasure when I can help. But sometimes I get also messages what should not come to the president, because even if you know the president and the president is friendly, it means not that you call, for example, about an invitation. When is the bus going, or what this and this, what you can find already on our web pages.
Yes.
People should first looking on the web pages or calling their national federations before coming to me. I should be the last person. If you need really help and nobody helps you, then I should be the last. But I am not the secretary of everybody, because I have already enough to do.
100%. But you're too friendly to people.
That's a good side, but
Yes.
also for me it's not very good, because then everybody must send me the mails.
The messages directly. Okay. We won't ask for your email and your phone number in the interview.
Everybody can already find it on the web page.
On the web page, okay. Well, fantastic. So tell us sort of about the sport of powerlifting, what it means to you, and where do you see it going?
For me, I'm very happy with powerlifting, because I have never had anything to do with sport except when I was a young boy to play basketball. But then I didn't want to do anything in sport. And then when I have been in '86 approached by our president from the Luxembourg Federation to help, then I said first no. But then he told me that we have a Luxembourg world champion, Marion Hamang, in that time. And then, we have a world champion. I said, yes, okay. Then I started become involved in powerlifting, and then I start first arranging their trips and so on. Then I start doing the official table, then the referee. Then on '98 they come back and say, you are now the auditor of the IPF. Even they did not ask me if I want.
Okay.
And then there was some problems going on in the IPF with the treasurer, who said he will stop because he was unhappy with that people. And then I said, okay, then I go maybe for treasurer, you go for auditor. And then we changed, and then from that time on I was then involved in the IPF executive committee.
Right, okay. And then where do you see the sport going? Where would you like it to go?
I can tell you where we should be.
Yes.
Yeah, we should be IOC recognized.
Yes.
Because we are now 50 years, now we are on the 51 years anniversary.
Yes.
Yeah, and with the growth in our sport, we have now 138 member nations. We get more and more lifters everywhere.
Right.
So, and with all what we have done now since 2012, that I have been the president, we put on the turbo to go forward. We realized all what was requested by the IOC. And it should be more than deserved that we should be recognized as an IOC sport.
Right. And that would be leading up to the Olympics.
Yeah,
to
but it
participation.
is important to make understandable for the people, IOC recognition means not going to the games.
Yes.
because the IOC recognition is the most important.
Okay.
Because then you get recognized also at home from the Ministry of Sport, from the National Olympic Committee.
Right.
We have a lot of countries who have already been recognized, but not everybody.
Okay.
And that would help everybody.
Okay. So that would then help the local sport, the lifters, the coaches.
That they get more support from their national governments, from their National Olympic Committee. So that's the main goal.
Okay.
So and then after that, you can start looking, want we go to the Olympic Games, want we not, because I say every time, we are now in the World Games. The World Games becomes already more and more popular.
Yes.
And we are there since it started. We are one of the founder member nations from the World Games, for starting with the World Games, and we have been every time in the World Games.
Right.
So if you become an Olympic sport, then you are out of the World Games.
Okay.
And in the Olympic sport, it depends on the organizers. If an organizer say, yeah, I like powerlifting, you can be part of it, you will be part of it. But the next Olympic Games, we can maybe be out, like we have seen now with karate, for example.
Yes, okay.
So then the question must come up, what is better for us? Is it better that we say, okay, we go for the World Games, because there we are always welcome and in?
Yes.
Or we go maybe one time on the Olympics and then we are out.
And then we're out again, okay.
And if you look in the organization of the World Games and the Olympic Games, it's all similar.
Right.
And if you would maybe not see World Games written there, you could also thinking maybe you are Olympic Games.
Right.
But of course, the Olympic Games is the highest level what every athlete want go. But first, as I said, we're looking first to get recognized, and then we looking about the next step.
The next step, okay. What would you like to see from the different countries that are participating in powerlifting?
But first of all, the country should follow what we are doing in the IPF, because the IOC recognition means not Gaston do the job and then we get recognized. The IOC look the IPF, and the IPF is also not Gaston, it is all the member federation.
Yes.
So if we do steps forward in the right direction, every nation should follow, because that's the way how it is. And when we say now, for example, one of the most important is to go with the university sport, because there we open the door, but if nobody go through the door, then the work is done all for nothing.
Okay.
And the university sport is the future of the sport. It's there where you can recruit your athletes.
Yes.
And the university sport open also a door, because when we go to the FISU university, the university self-nominate the lifters, but it must be lifters who are member of the IPF.
Right.
And they pay then for the lifters. And that it's the door I open for everybody, because we do not want that the young people must pay all from their own pockets.
Yes.
And this is the door. And I still not understand why I must sign for years every time explaining to people what they have to do. They should follow what I tell them to do. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
Because we all need to be pulling in the same direction.
Yes, I open the doors for them. That's my job as president, showing the direction how serious sport is going. But then the national federation must follow, because otherwise it makes no sense. And then, of course, when the people come to me, why we are still not recognized, I can say, I can tell you a lot of things why we are not.
Right, okay. And then can we talk a little bit about you, your background, your growing up, your childhood, who you are, so people can get an understanding of who the president is?
Yeah, I think I was a young boy. We was playing every time outside, not like the young people today.
Yes.
And I say every time I would never change with the children from today.
Right.
Because my childhood was fantastic. We go eating inside, and then after eating immediately out to meet again the friends to play. We was the whole time out.
Right.
And this is what I'm missing a little bit from the young people today.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was working first for a company for logistic.
Okay.
And then after I came to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, I was working more than 22 years in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So then I had a good time also to work for the powerlifting, because even when I was still working, I did a lot for powerlifting in that time. And since 6 years, I'm now a pensioner.
Right.
So I go every day to the office to the IPF office. I don't get paid. People think every time the president get the salary, but that's not the case.
Right.
I just get money back for my expenses. That's all. But I go every day working in the office free of charge.
So it's really from a place of love.
Yeah, let me say it's a full-time job, but it's an unpaid job. And I don't think that somebody will change for that.
100%.
Yeah.
So your time in the ministry also helped you deal with politicians, with countries, with leadership.
Yes. And then I was more for the humanitarian aid in that ministry. But then the minister I had, the last one, he was also responsible for sport.
Right.
And then I took that opportunity before I left when they said that they will get office free in the House of Sport. And I go to him and I said, listen, we have the International Powerlifting registered in Luxembourg. We want to engage a secretary or two. We want to have an office. It's possible to get an office.
Right.
So then we got an office in Luxembourg free of charge.
Okay.
So we just pay our phone costs there and nothing more. And for cleaning 2 times in the week the office, but for the rest, all is free of charge.
Okay, fantastic. If you could ask, if you could speak to the lifters, to one lifter, what would you ask of them to support the sport? So not at the country level, not at the club level, at the individual level.
Well, it's difficult to say that. I talk a lot to lifters. That it's also why some people think they must send me every time messages because I'm.
Yes.
I explain every time the lifters because some are for classic, some are for equip, so that we should go the 2 ways because I know the mentality of the lifters with the shirt. They put on a stronger and a stronger and a stronger, and I am sure that in classic lifting when people can come forward and they try a shirt that they maybe can come forward in equip lifting.
Yes.
And when you are looking the nominations, you can see you can get medals there.
Yes.
So I'm wondering that people not jumping on this.
Right.
And I would say to the lifters to encourage everybody this way to say, like my son, he is now competing. He was starting classic, but he's competing now also equipped.
Okay.
Because he has a chance for medals there.
Yes.
So, and this is the way the lifter should talk in between themselves and motivate everybody to go that way. Because we can also keep the people much longer involved in powerlifting.
Yes, okay.
Because if you go as a classic lifter and you see, okay, I don't have any more chance, I quit powerlifting.
Yes.
But you try equipped and you see you can reach another goal, then you will still stay longer involved.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic.
And we see today here in classic bench press and equipped that all the bench pressers, mostly of them are competing twice.
Yes.
Because it's the people who started with the equipped lifting.
Yeah, the bench press. Yes.
Yeah, the bench press are also the power lifter. But therefore, I hope that also in equipped lifting, we don't close the door because with this we would open the door to other federations who then will take the lead with equipped lifting.
Right.
And then maybe they're coming to AIMS asking to become a member of the AIMS and so on. And then it could be rivalry, so that it's not a good idea. And if people listen to me, then I am sure we will find the right way to go.
Okay, fantastic.
Because I see it also from outside, not just from inside.
Right.
Because I have never lived it.
Okay.
Sometimes people think because you not ever listed, you not understand anything.
Right.
No, you understand the sport when you have the passion for the sport, when you use your brain, when you're looking what's going on. So I started from the bottom to the top.
Right.
I know every level. And when people come to me, claim, that cost years, then I can tell the people, look, you're just looking your own. But you must look the whole things, what you get also for and so on.
Yes.
And then also with coaches, when I see mistakes, what coaches do, even I have never been a coach, but I know that it's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, because of my passion and so on. That it's the same like a lot of people watching soccer, but they not play soccer, but they understand the soccer because they know the rules.
Yes.
So it is not just thinking if you don't do it, you don't understand it. It has all to do with patience and using your brain when talking about something and find out ideas, and that is what I am doing.
Right. So, and I think also for what you were saying earlier with regards to equipped, there's value when you're paying the money to come to a country, you're paying the money to travel, you at least have the opportunity to compete twice.
Yes.
And that's a fantastic thing for the athletes.
Yeah, that it's especially in bench press, because if you travel for 3 lifts, only so minimum you can do 6 lifts, and you can have 2 titles. Or if you don't get the title in the one, you get maybe a title
in the other. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Why should someone consider joining our sport if they're thinking of competing?
I think a lot of people doing already powerlifting without knowing that they do powerlifting, because in the gyms, when you work out your muscles and so on, you're doing the squat, you're doing bench press, you're doing the deadlift.
Yes.
And joining us, I think we have a lot of people, especially women, when we see all what they posting about their bodies, that they have nice bodies because of our sport.
Yes.
Sometimes the people think they look like men, but that's in powerlifting not the case, because they are not so dry than bodybuilders, but they have nice bodies because they train the muscles and so on.
Yes.
And I think it's good for the healthy when you train your body. I have some pain in my back. I should train, then I will not have pain in the back. Some people have everybody saying, when you do that, it's not good for the healthy. No, it is good.
Yes.
Because also often people have pain in the back, but when they train the muscle from the back, then they do not have any more pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So before the people say, you must go in massage, but it helps nothing at all. But I had the problems in my back long time ago. Then I was training my muscles, and from that time on I had no more pain.
Absolutely.
So I think there is a lot of reason why you can do powerlifting.
The community, the camaraderie.
Yes, that is the other point. The community, the camaraderie. In Luxembourg, our teams, we go eating together, we laughing together, we play stories over each other and have fun together. And even when you come internationally, you are alone, you're never alone, because every time you find people who are helping you, talking, and this is also one of the reasons why I am involved in powerlifting.
Right.
Because if that friendship and the camaraderie would not be, then I would also not be involved.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that is what gives me the motivation for bringing the sport.
Right. Oh, fantastic. I think, and for probably quite maybe a controversial question, but something that's very important to me, and why I love the IPF is because of our testing and our drug-free sport. And we've seen in South Africa the rise of other federations that don't test and that don't take it seriously. So from your experience, why should lifters be lifting with the IPF?
I think you have already mentioned it. If you want to be in a fair sport, in a clean sport, then you should join the IPF, because we do a lot of controls. I can give you an example. When I started in the IPF, the controls was also not managed very well until we have totally changed the board in the IPF, and then I was one who pushed to bring the rules forward against the doping. And then, for example, in the beginning, they were saying, when you do a world record and you don't have the money, you not get tested.
Right.
So, and then I said, but that makes no sense. That means the poor people can never be never do a world record.
Yes.
And if somebody's positive, he just say, I don't have the money, he will not get tested. So that was the first what I changed.
Yes.
So, and then from that time on until now, we was on 15% of positive tested lifters. And now we are down under 5. So 3.8, 4.2%. So that shows that we have done a great job in the fight against doping.
Absolutely.
And I say every time we catch them all, well, not today, then tomorrow.
Yes.
But we have, and what is also very important, we are totally independent.
Right.
We're working with CCS from Canada, so they doing the administration, they choose the lifter, they do the tests. Not even I know who get tested.
Okay.
And this is what is good, that nobody has the fingers on it. And that was for me very important as well.
Right.
And also the doping hearing panel who announced the fines and so on. It's independent people. We have one is a lawyer who was a former WADA lawyer. We have one, he was in the CAS. We have Dr. Moyeron from France, who has nothing to do at all with powerlifting. So it's totally independent as well.
Right.
And we are happy now that since a few years we could also manage this with CCS.
Right.
Costs a lot of money.
Yes.
But now we have the money, and always when we get more and more money for our sport, we put the money back to the sport.
Right.
To do more tests, to do more better competitions, as you can see also here.
Yes.
It's a nice setup. We will have now in 2 weeks in Malta our Open Classic Worlds with also nearly 400 lifters.
Right.
Eurosport will be there. So we have started last year with Eurosport.
Okay.
We have 15 million of views in the Eurosport. We have our streamings. And I said every time when the people not come to you, you have to go to them.
Yes.
But then we had also Sheffield. In Sheffield we had about 2,500 crowds. Inside it was fantastic. And now we get also more and more crowd because the sports become more and more popular.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we're doing all our best. We encourage also the National Federation to go in touch with their NADOs, that the NADOs who test, I know here in South Africa they do a lot.
Yes.
We catched also some people here because our work is working.
Yeah.
And that's the most important, to make sure that we catch the people who are taking drugs.
Yes. And I think it filters down from the competitive athlete to the gym to the school.
Yeah.
You know, if you're competing at that level and people understand that they want to compete safely, they want their children to join a federation that's safe for them.
Yes.
And that's not exposed to drugs.
And it is important that you start with this. We had in Luxembourg just 5-6 lifters, so we had long time no test because we know first of all that our lifters don't take because they was not on that level.
Yes.
The only one who was really on a high level was Coimbra Annibal in that time. He was tested already because he was a member of the elite cadre from National Olympic Committee.
Okay.
So he got tested out of competition test, in competition test. And but the very lower level we had never tests. But now we had at the last championships 22 lifters.
Okay.
And now in our Luxembourg Cup we will have 40 lifters. So I informed then the National Anti-Doping Agency. Now it's growing. We have a lot of new lifters, and I want to have tests to show the people from the beginning on you are here in a serious federation. And if you compete, you must calculate that you get tested.
You test. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a safe sport, and it's a sport that you can compete in for your lifetime.
Yes. Yeah, that's the other, what you said also, because that's another reason why people should join powerlifting, because powerlifting is a sport for all.
Yes.
We have Special Olympic lifters, we have Paralympic lifters, there's blind lifters. So it is a sport for everybody. We have young people, higher age people, we have people from each class, police officers, doctors, and so on, lawyers, everybody do powerlifting. And this is the great opportunity we can offer.
Yes.
Because a lifter who do, for example, weightlifting, when he don't have the technique, he can never do weightlifting.
Yes.
But in powerlifting, it's mostly the strength.
Yes.
Of course, you can with technique do more things,
Right.
but I can say everybody can do powerlifting because even you don't have the technique, you can do it.
Even I could do powerlifting.
Yeah, me too. So everybody could do it because my son, for example, was the case like this. He went to soccer, it was nothing for him. He went to the karate, it was nothing. Then I brought him to the powerlifting. I said, this is some sport for you.
Right.
So now he's competing. He has now been in Tiste, Denmark, and has got 3 bronze medals.
Okay, fantastic.
And also, by the way, he was also tested. Not that the people think because he's the son of the president, he will not get tested.
Right.
So just because sometimes you have people, they just talking in Instagram a lot of nonsense. They have no idea how things are working, but it doesn't matter. They just want blame the president. They want blame the IPF because they have nothing to offer to the people.
Yes.
And we offer all this
Wonderful
to the
things,
people to make sure that we have clean people, to make sure also because of the health of the lifters.
Yes.
Because what sense it makes when you're taking drugs for just getting a medal?
Yep.
Yeah. What is the outcome? You can have children who have a handicap afterwards.
Yes.
You can die. So is that worse to do a sport just for getting a medal?
And in 40 years' time, when you've got a family that you love and your health falls apart because of the doping.
And all this reason is that the drugs, why the people using drugs for what?
Yeah. You know, it's I've been sober for 16 years.
Yeah.
And I work with addicts. And addiction, whether it's steroids or heroin or marijuana, it's an addiction and it'll destroy your life. So why even start?
Yeah. But I would also say something what I say every time to people when we're talking about this. Today everybody can open a gym.
Yes.
So there should be people who just open a gym who have a certificate as a coach.
Yes.
That should be the first.
Yeah.
The second should be that these gyms should be controlled by the government, like a restaurant is controlled by
Yes.
the things, because a lot of drugs get sold in
In
the
the
gyms.
Yes.
So, and that drug market is it's not better than the drugs market.
It's the same market.
So they do
yeah.
a lot of money with that. And if the politics really want that people should not take doping, then they should also do their job. And
Yes.
their job should be controlling the gyms, what kind of products they selling to the people.
Right.
And closing all these gyms who selling drugs to the people. This is what I wonder always when the politics speak about doping fight here, fight there, but
Yes.
in the reality, it's not working like it should work.
Right. It should start with at the gym.
Yeah. It
That's-
should start at the gym because a lot of people just making money. They selling to the people this and this. Even some saying, you want grow faster with muscle, I
yeah.
have some. So, and this should be controlled from the custom people.
Yes.
Because we have now in Europe the customs, since we have no more borders, the customs go controlling the restaurants, if
Yes.
all is good and so on.
Okay.
So they should do the same with the gyms. Going
Yes.
there, looking what kind of products you are selling and closing the gyms when they're selling drugs.
Yes.
Because this is not acceptable. And if we want to protect our children, then there should start the fight.
Yes. Absolutely.
And everybody has his responsibility, not just a federation.
yeah.
Also, a Ministry of Sport should bring up such ideas
Yes.
to go involved in this matter and to do some politics. In France, if you get catched with drugs in your pocket, you can go in the jail. Or
Right.
if you take doping with you.
Yes.
Because they do that in cyclists when they have the Tour de France.
Yes.
They coming, they looking into your van, everything, and if they find, they take you with the police.
Yes.
And that should be everywhere like that.
Yeah. At every level.
Yeah, at every level and everywhere, that these are forbidden substances, and it should not be allowed that anybody sells things like that.
I think there's tremendous value in affiliating as a gym
Yeah.
with the IPF.
Yeah, of
because
course.
you set yourself to a standard.
Yeah, but for us it is clear. If we will get the message or information that in a gym who is affiliated with us, they sell drugs, then we would, of course, making our investigation. And
Yes.
if that is the case, we will suspend them as well. Because it's not just looking to the lifters. We have also to take care with coaches. When we see that coaches coming back and back and back with lifters positive, and it's always the same coach,
Yes.
we have decided to then also go into this
Right.
level. Especially when you have people from 14 years who are not so involved with stopping, who don't know maybe, but they get it from their coaches
Yes.
without knowing
Because
what
they're
they
trusting
take.
the coach.
Yeah, because they trust. Then we should also suspend the coaches because we cannot allow coaches to give young lifters
Yes.
such unforbidden drugs,
Drugs,
doping. Yeah.
I think that, and it's about protecting the youth, protecting the future of the sport, and protecting their lives. You know, just such a wonderful thing. I had Judith, Daniel's mom, on earlier today, and she was saying with her son being in the Special Olympics but competing here, he says this is where he can be like everyone else.
Yes, this is another thing because I started that as well. I think a lot of what we see today in the IPF is ideas I brought in to make sure before the IOC said to us we should working with Special Olympics and so on. When I met them the first time, they said,
Yes.
yeah, this and this and this you should do. They said, stop, we're already working with Special Olympics.
Okay.
But not because somebody told me, because
Yes.
I think it is good to have these people integrated in powerlifting. And then we're coming again back, it's
Yes.
a sport for all.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
we have, maybe not everybody can be a strong lifter from Special Olympics, but we have some very good Special Olympics lifter who competed in Canada at the junior. One of them got the silver medal at the junior level.
Okay.
So, and this
Fantastic.
is the integration, and like she said, he feel that he's integrated.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, and that is why we offer every time a platform for the Special Olympics.
Yes.
Now we have again in Lithuania, the Special Olympics will take also place there, where we then offer a platform. But I expect a little bit more from the Special Olympic itself, because still we have not enough. we must every time run behind them to get the lifters there instead that they should be the contrary.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we open the door for them, so they should more working on it. And I always talking to get addresses from coaches and so on. But sometimes maybe some of these people from coaches thinking that we want to take them something away. No,
Okay.
we want to work together.
Yes.
And
To enhance what they have.
Exactly. We can learn from their coaches how to handle Special Olympics lifters,
Yes.
and they can learn from us for strength.
Yes. Yes.
Voilà. And it's together. It's not against each other.
Right.
And this is what I want: the integration of all these people. We could have here a competition where Paralympics are there. We could have Special Olympics there.
Yes.
We could have the blind, and we could have our lifters all together in one competition.
Right.
Yeah.
That
And
would
this
be
is fantastic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is one of my goals that I hope that one day we can have more people there,
Right.
and then we can offer them also this chance.
Fantastic. Oh, Mr. President, is there anything you would like to add? Also,
Yeah.
because I don't want it. I know you've been busy, and we're very grateful for your time.
Yeah,
today.
I think I explained already a lot now.
Yeah. We
and-
could talk for hours. It's
yeah.
wonderful.
and often when I speak with people, it's interesting for them when I explain them.
Yes.
I sometimes I should say those who talking nonsense, they should call me or coming to me and talk with me before they
Start talking nonsense.
exactly,
Yeah.
and then that they understand because we have a structure in sport.
Yes.
And the normal sport work like this. But there is other federation, there is just people there who have never elections, nothing, who just get money
Yes.
and they do it for the money.
Right.
So that's their business, that's fine for me, I do not interfere. But I just tell them stay out of the IPF.
Right.
Don't interfere in us because we going the way of a serious sport
Yes.
and we not interfere in you, what you do, so please stay out of us.
Right.
If you are serious, you want to come to us, you are welcome to come to us. But don't blame the IPF because you do not like what they do, because you do not understand how sport is working.
Right.
And if you just want to have fun and do powerlifting and you want to compete against people who are taking drugs, then you are welcome to go to other federations, but not to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple like that it is. And that is the other point. Sometimes the people asking, why I cannot compete there and there. Then I said, look, we are fighting against doping.
Yes.
So our lifters get suspended.
Yep.
Then they going to other federation. So then you want to join them in another federation. That makes no sense.
Yes.
So, and this is what the people not thinking about.
Right.
So you want that we are clean sport, you want that the IPF test the lifters, but then you want running behind the suspend lifter. That makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
So therefore I said, we going our way, the people who want follow our way are welcome, and those who want go another way, we do not put them stones in the way, but they should stay out of us
Right.
and not blaming us when they have no idea how it works.
Okay.
Because they do their job, I do not interfere, I do not even care.
Yes.
I just take care about IPF, and that's all.
Okay.
And that's the only official and the only recognized sport.
The more serious the sport
Yeah.
is run and looked after and administered, the more credibility
Yeah.
with every medal, with every victory,
Exactly.
and with every performance.
And what I can say that on international platforms where other sports are, they telling us that we are an example of a strength
Yes.
sport about the fight we are doing against doping. And I
Right.
think that's a pleasure to hear that when the people see that and recognize that. And that show us that we are also on the right track.
On the right
Yeah.
path. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
taking your time to interview me, and I hope
It's
the
an
people
honor.
enjoy
Yeah.
that they get some news from me, my side, and
And learn a little bit more about you.
learn a little bit more. And we welcome all those who listen, maybe who are not member of a powerlifting federation, to come to us, to IPF, because I say every time it's a big family.
Yes.
We are the
absolutely.
IPF family, and it's how we treat each other,
Yes.
like friends, like a family.
You just have to look at the banquets and the dancing at the
exact-
banquets to
exact.
see that.
Yeah, when the president starts singing to make
Absolutely.
dancing
Hey,
the people.
baby. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.